Let's lighten the mood for a moment. This Wednesday saw the Countess of Wessex joining that lockdown birthday brigade, and she had some lovely wishes from the royal family, as well as lots of her fans from the public as well. Angela, coming to you first. I mean, in the last year or so, Sophie Wessex has had a lot more airtime. She's become a bit more of a rising star. Do you agree?
Oh, yes, very much so. It's as if she's been working very hard in the background and at last she's being appreciated. I mean, that's not her view, that's my view, that at last the Queen has always liked her. She's always sort of tried her best to fit in. She even learnt how to ride a horse so that she could go riding with the Queen. She goes to church with her. They really enjoy each other's company and they see a lot of her. And I think that she's tried, particularly in this pandemic, to do as much as she can quietly. She's not someone who goes somewhere and then says, you know, didn't I make an inspirational speech? Or I'm so generous with my thoughts. And I think you've all done terribly well in a patronizing way. She just quietly, she's made food, she's packed food packs, she's gone around to see people. And I think she's smartened her act some years ago. She looks very smart now. She's got her own dress style, which shouldn't matter, but does. And I think she's much more appreciated, and she will neatly step into Harry's absence. It won't be the same, of course, by any means. She hasn't got his charisma, but she's got dedication and she cares. And she's easygoing. She doesn't make a fuss about things.
Rebecca, Angela touched on Harry there. Now, do you think that this is any kind of calculation on the part of the palace that we've seen more of Sophie now that a certain couple have stepped away from their working roles?
I wouldn't say they would see it as a calculation, but they definitely see it as an opportunity for her star to shine. And I mean, rightly so. She's been doing some really powerful work behind the scenes for a long time, particularly over sexual violence against women in conflict. I've been to quite a few engagements with her on that issue. And she brings a lot to the table. And I mean, as Angela touched upon, she is an incredible source of comfort and support to the Queen, and also actually to the Duchess of Cambridge. They've developed a really good friendship there, which I think is something that will stand Kate in great stead, obviously moving forward as a future Princess of Wales and then as a future Queen. And I think Sophie will be there as a really kind of small, still voice of calm.
If Prince Charles or someone else is going to a place where there's a load of people, she comes along and helps. It's not always reported, is it, Rebecca? But she just goes along there and shakes hands. I remember going to Buckingham Palace for frontline staff, a drink for all of them before the pandemic. And there were 550 people there. Prince Charles wanted to go around to everyone. He realized he couldn't. So at the last minute, Sophie comes in and goes around chatting to lots of groups as well. Very, very quietly. She didn't need all the things in the papers of where she was there and what she was worn, what she was wearing. She just was there to help out.
Well, I'm going to ask a very rude question on the back of that. Richard, if you turned up to the palace because you were excited to meet Prince William or Prince Charles, and they said, actually, don't worry, we've got Sophie Wessex. Do you think that's filling that same void? Do you think people are excited by her star power?
Well, look, Sophie has been described as the royal family's secret weapon. And I think maybe she shouldn't be so secret anymore. You know, we do want to hear a bit more from her. And with Edward as well. I mean, look, the Queen kindly handed over her patronage of the Royal National Theatre to Meghan. And then she promptly moved to America and did absolutely nothing for the theatre. You know, why not hand that to Prince Edward, who, my goodness, you know, he used to actually work for Andrew Lloyd Webber. He'd love it. He'd be fantastic. And so would Sophie, who, you know, used to come from a PR background. I think she really is not used as much as she should be.